Does anybody else have like the biggest urge to take like a Cosmo quiz right now? Like you just saying you take a
I
quiz. Like that sounds so fun.
kind of feel like I'm taking a Cosmo quiz right now with this
I know.
situation
It's
here.
like very millennial.
Oh wait, we're done.
We're millennial coded.
Fantastic. Very millennial. We're elder millennials. So
No,
you
we're
know.
not.
Yeah, we are.
yeah,
No,
we
we
are.
actually are. But like,
I
own
thought
that.
I was the true like essence of a millennial. Like right in the middle.
Let's
Oh,
take a quiz
interesting.
after this and find out.
I think we're the elder millennials, but like, how cool is
Okay, I'll
that? We're the
take it.
elder millennials.
No, I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
Elder.
I feel like it means
Go
we're
with
we're
what you want to be.
yeah, you be whatever. Yeah,
You know.
middle-aged millennial. Yeah,
That's even worse.
yeah.
I'm gonna
See,
do
I
a
would rather
little-
be the elder millennial
Me too.
than the middle-aged millennial.
Not till next month.
Hey.
What's up, guys? We're dreamers, we're moms, and welcome to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Now let's get creatively unhinged. There are seasons of life that break you open, and then there are seasons that heal you. They can look different for everyone, but for today's guest, her healing season is bold, loud, colorful, and unapologetic. Katie built a bold, dopamine dressing fashion brand in the middle of one of the most chaotic chapters of her life. Early motherhood with 3 babies born in less than 2 years. We're talking survival mode, y'all. We're talking postpartum fog. We're talking trying to remember if you brushed your teeth while holding 2 toddlers and a baby. And somehow, in the chaos, EK the boutique was born. What started as neutral, safe, and quiet, much like Katie felt at the time, has transformed into something loud, colorful, and unapologetically weird, an outward reflection of her healing. Katie is an autism mom, a mental health advocate, and a woman living with OCD alongside her twin daughters who, at just 12 years old, stood on stage at the International OCD Foundation Conference in Chicago to speak about their lived experience. Let me just say that again. 12 years old, on stage, changing lives. Katie has walked through inpatient treatment. She's navigating parenting neurodivergent children while managing her own mental health. She's built a business not just to sell clothes, but to create belonging. She's still healing. She's just doing it louder now. And today, we're getting creatively unhinged about all of it. Also, in today's episode, we'll be joined by my part-time co-host, but full-time BFF, Carly. Let's get into it. Katie, welcome to the podcast. I'm so honored to have you here.
I am so honored to be here. Like, Carly, like, oh my gosh, like preschool. We go back to preschool.
Shady Oaks.
But really like high school. And like, I feel like I've watched y'all's friendship on Instagram, just like so fun. And then just, seeing y'all annually like at the
Nutcracker Market.
I'm just like, I am so happy to be here and like to sit and just to talk. And
It is like a hangout. And that's
Yeah.
what I want people to feel, when they're in the podcast, that like you're just talking to your best friends, which
fun.
we kind of all are
Yes.
organically.
I feel like at one point we were super close. So this is just by not like natural guess.
This is
all
supposed
good.
to happen.
It was supposed to happen.
And y'all
Yeah.
wore yellow, also supposed to happen.
I know. Okay. I wonder, like high school colors were like
Gold and black.
like yellow.
Yes.
I wonder if like we like kind of were like
Maybe.
like thinking high school.
Okay, we have to like send this to high school people and be like, me and Katie are on a pod together.
Shout out,
yeah.
shout out Foster. What? Y'all went to
Foster High
2?
School.
No, now so I have these 3 darling high schoolers that work at the boutique.
Oh, fun.
I'm obsessed with them. We call them Martini Boppers. They're the cutest things
Love
in the
that.
entire world. Well, one of them is a senior at Foster. And I'm like, I was the second graduating class. Like
Our
and I'm
claim
like-
to fame.
And I'm like, I'm so cool. And they're like, you're old.
Yeah,
Like, and I'm like, yeah. Okay. Moving on. Yeah.
Like, I'm not old.
I'm not old. I'm peaking when I'm 40. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so too.
I really do think so.
We did talk about it. I think I peaked in high school and then took a little break. College wasn't my finest moments. And then now I'm like, I'm back.
I've spent so much of my adult life. Okay, I'm only going to be 40 and I'll be 40 in a month, but like my 20s and 30s, it was like I was trying to be everything that I thought everybody wanted me to be.
Same.
And now I'm like, fuck all y'all. I'm going to
Same.
wear a costume. And guess what? The people love it.
No, it's
The people
amazing.
love it.
People love confidence and just doing what you want to do. I feel the same way
I
about
feel
turning
the same
40.
way.
And also like, hey, that girl's out there just having fun.
Yes.
Even if she looks ridiculous. maybe that means I can go have fun too and
Absolutely.
not care. And I'm like, that is the best. Let's just all be unhinged women.
It's the
I'm so
confidence,
for
like
it.
the pink hair for me. I
I
was
love it.
like, you know, people are gonna think I'm going through a midlife crisis. I was,
All
but
hey,
still, like,
yeah,
it's so me. I can't imagine not having it now.
that's so
Like, I
cool.
just and people are like, "You're 40? I can't believe it."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm 40, but
Megan
I think
always
it's the pink
says,
hair.
Megan always says stuff about the pink hair, and I'm like, it to me, it like looks normal to you. Like,
yeah,
I see no difference in her between blonde and pink. Like, it doesn't. It just looks natural to
yeah.
me that that's your hair. Maybe because I know you,
I
but
think
it's
Yeah.
'cause I
just.
did start leaning into it and dopamine dressing
Yes,
and
yes.
it's the confidence you gain
Exactly,
when
because
you're
when you're
40
actually dressing and looking, like or not looking, but, like, putting
as a
yourself together in
representation
a
of
way
you.
that you actually feel inside,
Yeah.
I think like, people all the time are like, "Oh my god, I could never dress the way you dress," like, with me. And I'm like, "No, actually you can,
Mhm.
if you just gotta feel it."
People say
Like,
that with my nail color and not even this actually, which is pretty
"Oh my god,
normal.
I think we
Yeah.
have the same nail
Yeah, y'all
color."
do.
Even a pretty
Shut
normal.
up. Oh my
People are
god.
like, "I
Mine are
could
chipped.
never do that." I'm like, "What are you talking
What are you
about?"
talking about? Go do it.
Carly,
I always have a chipped
They look fine
nail
very
to me.
subdued.
They
with
look fine to me.
with a bad color. Like, I always make a bad
She's always like,
decision.
"I'm going to my
No.
nails," and she comes back, they're the color of her skin. Katie, were you as a child always a creative person? So we talked about high
I
school, talk about before that.
I definitely, um I was. But, like, also I was very particular.
Mhm.
So, like, I think I was a creative child. I mean, gosh, now all that I could
I'm sure you were.
literally the only thing coming to my mind right now actually is, like, organizing my closet. So, I think maybe I wasn't a creative child.
And now you own a boutique.
And now I own a boutique.
I mean,
Interesting.
mhm.
And then I had, like there were certain outfits that I would only wear. Like, there was this splatter paint outfit
Mm.
that I had from, like, a
Limited to.
no, this was from, like, a resale store,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Even
It was
better.
called Crayons, there was this little outfit that I had, and it was, like, white leggings. This is crazy. This is, like, so vivid to me right now. Um, it was white leggings and then this, like, oversized white t-shirt. I clearly loved the same things now that I loved then. It was splatter painted pink and purple, probably by some mom that
Mhm.
just splatter
Like with
painted
that
this thing.
that paint
Yeah,
that you
full on,
Yes.
and then wait for it, it had giant lace on the t-shirt
Ooh.
that
Needed
came
that
down.
accent, you
I mean,
know?
and then a big bow. And
Ooh.
my mom would get so upset with me because she's like, "I'm gonna need you to wear something else." And I'd be like, "No, where's my splatter paint?" And then she finally got me wearing dresses, and I would only wear a dress if it would twirl. Like, it
Oh,
had to
that's cute.
twirl.
My sister says that too.
Yes, and so I think I'm coming back to who I was.
And you were dopamine dressing when you were
When
little,
I
it
was
sounds
little,
like. It
yes,
Mhm.
but then
just.
shame entered the picture,
Right.
from
Society.
society, and I got safe. But yeah, no,
No.
yes, definitely. I was
Okay.
at little, I was, apparently there was some creativity there, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So
Yeah.
when did theater enter the picture?
Theater entered the picture, so I was homeschooled for a minute,
Okay.
and, theater entered the picture there. I did some sort of production that involved, like, the devil and
Mm.
God in my
Mhm.
homeschool, like, church group,
Mhm.
and I was most definitely the devil in that.
I
And I do remember having a lot of fun with it. Like, I remember being like, "This is so cool to be a villain." And people
or
kept
to
telling
play
my mom
something other than yourself.
other than
Like
myself, 'cause I was a, like, no, I can't get in trouble,
mhm.
like, all that um, oh gosh, I hated getting in trouble. And, people pleasing came very early for me,
Mhm.
and I remember playing that and people telling I remember my mom being like, "Everyone is just, like, telling me how adorable you were as this devil," and I'm like, "Okay." So I think, like yeah, so I that was probably 4th or 5th grade was because that's when I was homeschooled.
Okay.
So,
So that's when yes, you were a creative child.
yeah,
You were acting. You
yeah.
were doing the
I was
things.
cake decorating,
There were
you
okay.
know? There
Okay.
was, like I mean, listen, when you're homeschooled, you do some weird stuff. So,
No. I mean, cool stuff
yeah,
though.
but yeah, and
Sounds
my
cool.
mom was really, like, real chill about homeschooling. So, like, I
Mhm.
did American Girl history during those
Oh,
years.
cute.
I did cake decorating, I did theater.
I
Yeah,
like that.
stuff like that.
When we're talking about a little bit about your OCD as a child,
Yeah.
when did it all come to like this is what it is?
Yeah, okay, so we actually now looking back, we can clearly see that I had OCD as a kid.
Mhm.
See, and I never knew this about you
Oh, we didn't know.
till later in life when
Yes.
you and I'll let you speak, but
Yeah.
I use you as, like, a correcting people on OC 'cause
That
you are my education.
that means like, I could cry. That means so much to me.
Like, I
Yeah.
didn't know like, that's what
No
you
one does.
sharing your story
Like,
does.
and so OCD is like one of the top most misdiagnosed
Mhm.
and misunderstood mental illnesses.
Mhm.
And then it was, maybe still is, the one of the top 5 most debilitating mental
Mhm.
illnesses because it is so misunderstood and so misdiagnosed.
Mhm.
When did I find out first
Mhm.
about OCD?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. The first time anyone ever said OCD to me was, and I'm gonna get really real here.
Yes, please.
Um, with the first time someone said OCD after I had my first son, Michael.
Mhm.
Okay, I have 1 son, but I have 3 kids. But my first child, Michael, he was newbornish, and I was a stay-at-home mom,
Mhm.
and my husband was at work, and I was in the kitchen of our house, and all of a sudden I started having these intrusive thoughts that I was gonna stab him.
Mhm.
And I lost my mind.
Mhm.
I called my husband and I said, "You have to come home right now.
Mhm.
You have to come home right now. I had this thought about stabbing Michael, and you need to come home right now."
Mhm.
And he was like, "Katie, I'm like at work. Like, do you wanna kill Michael?" And I was like, "No, I don't wanna kill Michael. Michael's the best thing that's ever happened to me." But I'm having
Yeah.
these visions and, like, thoughts of stabbing him, and you have to come home.
Mhm.
I call and then he was like, "Okay, well, Katie, I gotta finish this, and then I'm coming," and he already knew I was a little neurotic. I mean, we met in the 1st grade, like, he knew I was a little crazy. So
Mhm.
he probably was like, "Okay, let me take this with a grain of salt." And to be fair, he was, he's a good guy. But, so then I called my mom, I was like, "You have to come over right now. Steven can't be here, and I cannot be home alone with Michael. What if I kill him?"
Mhm.
And I called my OB-GYN, and I said, I gotta come in. I
Mhm.
gotta come in right now,
Mhm.
right now." I said, "Dr. Wong, I know I'm gonna lose Michael. I know I'm gonna lose him."
Mhm.
And, like, to be fair, I was really sick. Like, I was really sick,
Yeah.
okay? Like, I was like, "I know I'm gonna lose him, but I just keep having these images of, me stabbing him,
Mhm.
and I can't have that happen. I love him too much. He's the best thing to ever happen to me. I'm a brand new mom. I'm 25." And she just looked at me, and thank God she knew what she was doing, because I think about these moms who have, like, postpartum psychosis and all of that kinda
Mhm.
stuff. She knew what she was looking for, and she said, "Katie, you are not gonna kill Michael,
Mhm.
and I'm not taking Michael from you." And I
Mhm.
really thought, I was like, "This is it. They're taking my baby." Now, of course, I know, like, he would have been with his dad, like, I would have been, if I was actually a threat to him, all that stuff. But
Mhm.
But
I
it's even
thought,
taking a lot of balls for you to even say
I was
that and
gonna say that
identify
too.
that because you're
because
probably so scared.
well, and that's what is so,
Taboo.
one of the interesting things about OCD is
Mhm.
that you are so terrified of your thoughts.
Mhm.
And OCD is called the disorder of doubt because the intrusive thoughts, and there's a lot of very taboo, like they call them subtypes or themes. OCD attacks the things that you care the most about.
Mhm.
So your
Wow.
brain, whatever's going on in your brain, and that is sending these, whatever's wrong up there when you
Mhm.
have OCD, it whatever you care about the most is going to attack.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so maybe you don't have kids, but you have, dogs that you love and you have OCD. You might have visions of, like,
Like ideations
of
of
bestiality,
kill Oh,
or
okay, or
or killing
killing
your
them.
animals, like one of those 2 different things,
Mhm.
and it horrifies them,
Mhm.
but they don't want to do it.
Mhm.
So then what happens is you start doing compulsions. So like, avoiding Michael. Like, okay, well, I can't be in the room with Michael because my brain, I was so afraid of my own brain.
Mhm.
Right.
But she knew, and she goes, "Katie, this is postpartum OCD." And I
Mhm.
went, "What? Okay. What? Okay."
Yeah.
And she said, "And you need to see a psychiatrist. If it was postpartum depression, I could prescribe, but you need to go see a
So
psychiatrist."
she knew the
She knew
difference.
the difference. She knew the difference, and which is a miracle.
Right.
So that was 2011. And so I went in, I saw the psychiatrist. During that appointment, like, getting my history, she was like, "You sound like you had OCD as a kid," like that kind of thing. But they prescribed me some Zoloft, and it worked. And I went on my merry way
Mhm.
and didn't think one thought about it
Mhm.
for the next 10 years.
Mhm.
Literally the next 10 years. I
Mhm.
didn't really think anything about it except, "Oh yeah, back then I had postpartum OCD."
Right.
So that was the original, like, the first time I heard it
Mhm.
was in 2011.
That's
And it
crazy.
was just kind of this one kinda awful instance, and then got put on meds and life went on. But I didn't do a therapy at that point.
Mhm.
It was just the meds worked and I moved on.
Mhm. Well, I think you're so brave, like Carly said, and even communicating that to your doctor and inspiring for our listeners because if you do have ideations and
Yes.
Like, you need to tell somebody
You have to tell
because
somebody.
you
Yes.
there is help.
There is help. And my so technically what mine would have been called is an intrusive thought.
Mhm.
Um,
Intrusive thought.
and
Sorry.
and don't get me wrong, I've had so when I was hospitalized years later, it was for suicidal ideation.
I
So,
know.
like, but if you like any sort of intrusive thought or ideation, tell someone.
Mhm.
And then this is my big, like, I will die on this hill. Do not go to someone who isn't licensed. Like,
Mhm.
they have to be a licensed clinical social worker, a licensed
Mhm.
clinical therapist.
Mhm.
And then also, if you don't vibe with that person, go to a new one.
I agree.
Like, go to a new one
Mhm.
because, I was pretty significant amount of trauma from later when I was hospitalized
Mhm.
because people didn't understand.
Right.
At that point, the harm OCD had come back, and I didn't realize it was that at the time, and a nurse at the hospital wrote homicidal ideation,
So this was when
and I
you had made it 10
so this was
years.
2019, so
Okay.
yes, I am getting ahead of myself, but, like, the point I wanna make with that is, like, me seeing the words written on my chart,
Right.
homicidal ideation,
Mhm.
about my children,
Mhm.
when I would have lost my children before like, walking into
Right.
my OB's office and saying, "I recognize that I'm about to lose my kid."
Mhm.
Which clearly also, that wasn't like, he has a father that's stable, like, it would've all get like, if that was the real deal, it would've worked. He wouldn't have been, like, put in CPS.
Mhm.
He has a dad, he had plenty of grandparents, but in my very sick brain at that moment, that is what I thought. I thought,
Right.
but I will do it because it'll save him. It's called harm OCD. The different types, like, there's pedophilia OCD, harm OCD, contamination OCD, um, sexual orientation OCD, like, there's all these different types, and the one people are most familiar with is contamination OCD.
I was
Okay.
about to
Like,
say, that
that's
sounds familiar
that's
to
the
me.
one that people
Wash their
typically associate
hands
washing your
instantly and that's
hands,
that. Mhm.
cleanliness,
Mhm.
et cetera. But that's actually, like, not even like, harm OCD is one of the biggest ones.
Mhm.
Um, and then the sexual ones are huge too.
You, Katie, you were making something that is people have never even heard of normal and being able to talk about it.
Yes,
And that is what
normalizing
is
it
even for me,
is
like, I
huge.
know you and I'm like, I have heard people say before, you're talking about now I know it's the cleanliness, there's a
That was technically
contamination.
called contamination, but
People
yeah,
are like, "I'm so OCD about the
you're
counter."
not.
It will Katie, it will start to and I didn't until I saw you posting about this, it didn't make my skin crawl or bother me until I was like, "No, I know
Yeah.
somebody with OCD," and, like, that's not what it is. And we're all human. We
We're
can
all
say, like,
human,
"Oh, I'm
yes.
so OCD about my counter."
Sure.
Okay, maybe I should tell you, and I don't know
Yeah.
that much about it, but,
Yeah.
like, maybe you should know what this
Yeah.
actually is. No, you're just particular about
You're
it.
particular
You
about
like your
something.
house clean,
Do you
Exactly.
find it
it's
offensive when people say they're OCD when they're not?
I went through a phase where I found it really offensive.
Mhm.
Um, and depending on the day and what kind of mood I'm in, I will correct people.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, I think you should always correct
yeah,
people regardless if you feel offensive,
yeah,
just so they have the correct
or just
language.
or
educating
just
them.
Educate them,
Yeah.
educating
yes.
them.
Yes.
The type of OCD that sent me into my worst 3 months of my entire life, was called sexual orientation OCD.
Mhm.
I've been married to my husband, Steven. You know Steven,
Mhm, mhm.
since I was an infant, 21. He and I were both 21 when we got married. We were babies, and I love him. And
Yes.
also, I wanna be very, very clear, and this is why this is a one that is not talked about, is that I wanna be very, very clear that I am very pro
Right.
LGBTQIA+.
Right.
The sexual orientation OCD can happen to someone who's heterosexual
Mhm.
or who is queer, bi, gay, lesbian, like, it's just whatever your sexual orientation is, it's questioning it,
Mhm.
no matter where you are. So, I started having, intrusive thoughts that I was in love with, at the time, my best friend.
Mhm.
It destroyed me,
Mhm.
and for 3 months, it progressed. I avoided all women
Mhm.
because I was so scared,
Mhm.
and again, not saying that I'm, like, if you are truly a lesbian, go for it, like, that's not what but
Right.
I knew that what it
You
It
knew it was
wasn't
something else.
it wasn't my life, like,
Right.
it scared me so much because I thought, "Wait, oh my god, I've been living a lie. What if I don't actually love Steven? What if I don't
Mhm.
actually love my 3
Mhm.
children? Wait,
Mhm.
am I gonna throw away my whole life? Wait, but do I actually love this person? Oh my god, I don't actually love this person. Am I attracted to this person? Oh my god, no. Oh my god, I'm not. Why am I having these images? Oh, if I'm having these images, I must be actually attracted to this person. Oh, I must actually love women. Do I love women? No, I don't love women. Do I wanna do those kinds of sexual acts with women? Actually, I don't. That's not my deal. I like men." but, like, it was this constant
Spiral.
But
spiral.
you already said from the beginning, which stuck out to me, that it attacks the things you
Care
love
the
most,
most.
Steven.
And I
Like,
Your
it
relationship with
while
your
is
while
husband.
Steven and I are a shit show,
yeah,
I
but
do love that
still,
man.
that
And
immediately when you
yes,
said that, I was like, "Oh, this is what you're saying. It
exactly.
attacks
What
your"
you
Yes.
in your heart of hearts just love the most. And that is why OCD is such a debilitating disorder, because it attacks your character, your values, who you are as a
Mhm.
human being, and you
Question your
you
reality.
question your entire reality.
Wow.
And because you're not actually obsessions are not delusions.
Mhm.
So because you are having an obsession and not a delusion,
Mhm.
you are fully present.
Right.
So you're watching yourself lose your mind,
Mhm.
quote unquote,
Mhm.
and you can't control it.
Right.
Those 3 months of my life,
Is that when you
I
Oh,
went to inpatient?
so actually, no. I went
Okay.
into inpatient in 2019. In 2021 was when the OCD
Okay.
hit, and
Okay.
I remember, it was January 8th. I wasn't suicidal in the way that I wanted to, like I was in 2019 when I
Mhm.
was hospitalized.
Mhm.
But at that point, there was literally a day into the 2-ish months of this, like, episode where I went to Steven and I said, "Steven, I absolutely do not wanna kill myself,
Mhm.
but I cannot live like this."
Mhm.
And he said, "I know," because he was suffering. Oh my
mm,
god, he was suffering with
Right.
my compulsions.
Right.
I would come to him every day and confess every single thought I had,
Right.
and he was like, "Oh my god,
it's like I
this is horrible."
or almost he
Yeah.
doesn't know how to manage that too,
Yes, and he really thought
it's
he was like, "Okay, is my wife a lesbian?" Like, I mean, he would have to
bless
ask me
him
like, "Wait,
for
Katie, do you do you wanna end our like, and it was like, "No, I don't,
I
but I can't
know.
stop these thoughts. I can't stop the torture, I can't stop the compulsions." And then the compulsions became very religious, and he would find me in my closet with worship music on, my Bible open, rocking and praying,
Mhm.
just like
Mhm.
it became very and that, so, like, religious OCD is called scrupulosity. That's what one of my daughters has. And then it progressed into, and this is where I hit absolute rock bottom. I started to fully believe and again, I do not, I have so much compassion for people that experience actual psychosis, actual hallucinations, delusions. I have people that I love that have experienced that. So but I became extremely fearful that I was quote unquote going crazy,
Mhm.
and I couldn't function.
Mhm.
I absolutely couldn't function at that point. And so speaking about sharing your story, so
yeah.
we're in Houston, Mattress Mac, his daughter, one of his daughters, Elizabeth Mackingvale,
Yes.
her is Dr. Elizabeth Mackingvale. She is the director of the OCD Institute in Houston. Um, and on this was like early-ish March, maybe end of early to mid March in 2021, and was I was completely I was losing it.
Mhm.
I had gone like, at this point, I had been doing compulsions so badly that I flooded my house one day because I had put Steven wasn't home, I was home with the twins, he was out with Michael, and I put some, like, meat, like a roast or something in, like, our island sink to, like, thaw out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then I went and I got caught up doing compulsions.
Mhm.
And however many, I don't even know how much time went by. And one of my twins came out and said, Mom, there's water in my room. I'd flooded my house because 'cause I'd turned the sink on thinking I would go some, but I'd gotten into compulsions, and I still couldn't tell you to this day how much time went by.
Mhm.
And I flooded my house.
Mhm.
Um, Again, I wasn't clinically insane, but, like, I was losing my mind
Mhm.
completely. And I had seen a light out of our, it was nighttime, and out of our kitchen window, like our sink, and we have these 3 windows above it, and I looked outside and I saw this, like, flashing light, and I flipped out. And I was making Steven walk all around our property. We live on 5 acres. I was like, "Did you see did I see,"
Mhm.
losing it. And he finally goes, "Katie, you're not okay." And I
Mhm.
went, I know I'm not okay, but, like, I don't know what to do." And he goes, and he just out of the blue, and this is a God thing, out of the blue, he goes, "Maybe remember OCD? Remember OCD from back then?
Yeah.
From Michael?" And he grabbed his phone and he typed in, "My wife thinks she's crazy and a lesbian." And
Thank you, chat. Was it
uh-huh.
ChatGPT?
Yeah,
Not
this
back
was
then, probably.
pre-ChatGPT. This was just straight up
Good
Google.
old Google.
Google.
Well, and an article that Dr. Mackingvale had written about sexual orientation popped up. Sexual
Wow.
orientation OCD popped up. And gosh, I just got
I
chills
was
thinking
gonna
about
say,
it.
I didn't even know that. I mean, I know
No,
obvious
she's in very,
She has extremely severe OCD.
ouch.
didn't know that.
But then took that and is now she's a doctor,
Mhm.
and she runs the OCD Institute of Houston and
Mhm.
is very, very well known in the OCD community.
Wow.
And then so I'm very, 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 very lucky that so anyways, that night we read this article. The next day I called OCD Houston, OCDI or whatever it was. And I said, I literally like unloaded on like the admissions girl.
The receptionist.
Yeah. And
Let me
she
put you in touch with
yeah,
somebody.
and I'm like, "I think I'm in love with all these people, blah, blah," all this stuff. Like, I'm taking photos of things, making sure it's not hallucinations. I'm confessing to my
Wow.
husband every day. I'm writing things out and then throwing it in the fire, and she goes, "You have OCD. You're here. We're gonna figure it out." And I
Oh.
went, "Wait, what?" And at the time, I had a great therapist who even she at that point, but she also had the wisdom and the knowledge to go, "Hey, I don't know what's going on. We
Mhm.
gotta figure this out." And I
Yes.
think that's a major judge of a good therapist, a good
Mhm.
doctor
To
is like
admit that they
to
don't know.
exactly, instead
Yeah.
of just trying to treat you,
Mhm.
because what happens so often, traditional talk therapy doesn't work for someone with OCD.
Mhm.
So what happens so often with people with OCD that it's undiagnosed or mismanaged or misunderstood is you end up going into therapy and you're talking, you're talking, talking, which is a compulsion. And that
Right.
just feeds the OCD. And then you get worse and worse and worse and worse and often ends in suicide
Mhm.
because you're thinking, I'm going to therapy, I'm doing these things, I'm
Mhm.
whatever. Or let's say you have sexual orientation OCD,
Mhm.
and similar to how this happened for me with the homicidal ideation, here I am thinking the last thing I would take my own life before I killed my kids.
Mhm.
And just I'll still have dreams where I can see it, homicidal ideation written
Mhm.
out on my chart. Like that's in there somewhere
Mhm.
forever.
Mhm.
And and so same with sexual orientation OCD. Like imagine you are gay and you're having sexual orientation like intrusive thoughts that you're straight and or vice versa, and you go to a therapist and you say all these things and they say, well, then you know what, I think it's that you're not embracing your sexuality
Right.
and you need to do this. Well, and
And
then you go,
imagine you're with your partner, you do
yes,
Oh
ruin
and
your
my
then
whole.
you try
gosh.
to live a life of whichever one is the one that is
Mhm.
not the right one. And again, where does lead you to? Probably suicide.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I'm not saying probably
No, but
suicide, but do you know what
it's
I mean? Like, it's
finding the right
like, so if
doctors.
you do not get the proper treatment, like, that's why they say it's one of the most debilitating ones. But what is so cool is that ERP works. Like, they've done MRIs of people before ERP and after ERP, and your brain physically
Oh,
changes.
wow.
Like neuroplasticity, I think neuroplasticity is the coolest thing. And this is also where I get like real cool about
Yeah.
Jesus. Like the Bible says, like he says, like, fix your mind on what is, you know, good and pure and
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
That's CBT. That's cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
Jesus was telling us way back when about CBT.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He knew it before the science knew it.
Mhm.
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 Like, God designed our brains to be neuroplastic. CBT, ERP, that kind of thing is written in scripture. It's just not called those things.
Right. They
And I
don't have the
just think
words
that
for
that
it.
is so incredible. Like, that's the Jesus that has met me in the deepest, darkest places
Mhm.
of my stuff, is the one that's like, "Hey, no. Listen.
Mhm.
Yeah, your brain right now kinda fucked up, but
Mhm.
I know what to do." And,
Mhm.
like, and
That's
these therapists, they know what to like, find the right therapist.
So, we talked a lot about your struggles with OCD, um, but you were also a mother.
Yeah.
And so what did that look like, and who was your support system?
Okay, my husband. When I think about the compulsions that I was doing on a daily basis, almost 20 I mean, like, unless I was asleep because of sleeping pills,
Mhm.
I was doing compulsions.
Wow.
And he was often the receiver of so many compulsions
Mhm.
because I would either be confessing to him or I'd be making him look at photos like, of did I hallucinate, because in 2019 it was a lot of trauma. It was a lot of mismanaged OCD. I mean, the OCD really ended up being the answer to so many issues. But my parents went through a really nasty divorce. Like, I had a special needs kid. I had 3 kids in 2 years. My marriage, like we were, like I said, I've joked, we're married as infants. Like, so we had our ups and downs. And so I had a lot of trauma mixed in with this undiagnosed mental illness that was like kind of waiting in the wings,
Mhm.
and then depression, anxiety, all these other things. I was seeing a psychiatrist around that time that in 2019 that didn't know about OCD. And so I was prescribed a, a pill for everything under the sun.
Right.
So then when we get to 2021 and we've hit the OCD and then we find out what it is and I get into treatment and we've got a son with autism. Our girls were not presenting with OCD at the time. But we've still got 3 little kids. We've got a son with autism, and he is higher functioning,
Mhm.
but by no means is he Michael has autism. The
Right.
minute Michael opens his mouth, Michael has autism.
Right.
He is incredible. He is my heart. He is everything. He would be fantastic on Love on the Spectrum. He's hysterical,
Mm.
but he has autism.
Mhm.
And that's a hard road.
Mhm.
And so then add on to it that Steven has a wife. And this is not something that I'm saying to put myself down. This is just very factual. Steven, my husband Steven, has a wife, me, who is mentally ill.
Mhm.
And that's a hard road.
Mhm.
And I still look back and I think if he decided to leave me today, I don't think I would ever blame him. One of my favorite stories about him is when I was going through treatment. As I learned more about OCD, then we started realizing these other things in my life that were OCD.
Mhm.
They weren't the debilitating types,
Mhm.
but we could look back into my childhood
Mhm.
and very clearly see, oh yeah, there were signs. But
Which
in the 80s, 90s, we were not talking. I was just weird.
No.
I had
Right.
weird rules that I lived by. I
Right.
liked to line up my shoes in certain ways.
Right.
I had to carry keys everywhere. I don't know. It was a whole thing. OCD is the thing that makes my life make sense. And one of those things is that I can't stand, we talked about contamination OCD and the things that people are most typically relate to OCD with is neatness or
Mhm.
cleanliness or whatever. And while those things can be compulsions,
Mhm.
they just aren't, it's not like just having a neat house. So we have these blinds in our house that go up and down or down and up. And you can um, just move them all different ways.
Mhm.
And so they easily would get off
Track.
their track and get diagonal. And we started learning that for years my kids were like, why can't I put a piece of artwork on the refrigerator? I was like, you absolutely cannot.
Mhm.
If you put a piece of art on I'm gonna have to pay.
Mhm.
No, I won't sleep. I won't
Mhm.
and we just thought I was neurotic.
Mhm.
Well, then we learned oh, it's, and also then it also was oh no, I need to work on that.
Mhm.
Put that thing on
Right.
the refrigerator and I'm gonna work through it.
Right.
So we learned that one of the things that I would get really, really overstimulated, upset about, not to the point of debilitating, but it was contributing, was if the blinds were just ever so off.
Mhm.
And I told Steven one day, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I told Steven one day, okay, I'm gonna start working on messing up the blinds and just living with it.
Mhm.
This is so stupid,
Stop.
but it's not. And he was like, okay. I got home that day and all the blinds were messed up. Every single one. He had just messed them up. And it was such a moment of understanding.
Mhm.
This is my wife. She's totally wacko.
No, this is my
No,
wife and I wanna help her.
and I
Yes.
say that she's totally wacko with so much love. On Friends, when
Oh.
there's an episode of Friends where Chandler says to Monica, "You are high maintenance, but I love maintaining you."
Oh,
And
so good.
that's Steven.
I love that.
He literally told me the other day, he goes, "You are like everything I hate about people. Your traits in other humans, I just can't stand.
But
But
in you?
he's like, for some reason, I'm still so freaking in love with you. And and I kind of hate you for it. But in the
Steven.
cutest way. I say that because if you're listening to this, marriage is fucking
Yeah.
hard.
It
And
is.
anyone that says it's not, they're lying. So
I know.
and
But with someone like that, he is willing to stick around for all the
yeah,
messy and that is also part of your personality too.
yeah.
He says that, but he loves you.
Yeah. At the
And
end of the day, he's
it's
like, okay, I guess I did choose this.
yes, exactly. And you guys have
No.
been together for a very
A
long
long
time and
time.
you're growing together and obviously he's,
Yeah.
anything he's going
Growing
through
with you.
too.
Yeah.
So
And I think now he's really kind of in his time right now. It's his turn to get to
Mhm.
figure himself out and be
Right.
messy. And I hope I can be half the spouse to him that he has been to me.
You will because you understand what it takes and you have been on the other side. When did the idea for
Okay.
the boutique first spark?
Yeah. Okay. So in 2017, I I had a friendship that was we were young moms and you connect when you're young moms and when you're in the thick of it. And we just both needed something that was not staying at home
For
with our
yourself.
kids. It was for, yeah. And so we started making t-shirts because like that's what preschool moms wore. And also I look back on, and I saw a phrase one time that's like, thank you for following me when my Instagram was ugly. Like, whoa, girl.
Right. Imagine the t-shirt.
Whoa, girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so different from what I am now.
I know, but that's the
thing.
That's the
because I was trying to fit into a box.
yes,
Mm.
as we all were.
Exactly. And so I was trying to be this let me be clear. I am a believer. I love Jesus. Like
Yes.
through the trauma that I've been through, I have questioned my faith. I've thrown away my faith. I have um nearly renounced my faith, like for sure. But Jesus met me in the darkest days. And so now I don't care what anybody says. I love Jesus and I know my Jesus. And so, but 2017 me was trying to be a good little Christian stay-at-home mom who looked a certain way and acted a certain way and dressed a certain way. And her kids were really perfect. And none of that was actually true.
Right.
And, so I think that's why I have this like ick factor about it, but also it is part of the story and like who I
And other people can relate.
and other people can relate to that.
Me
Yes.
is
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. But no, I look back also like on times and I'm like, what was I wearing?
But isn't it interesting that trend that was just going on with the 2016
my
and
God.
everybody was posting their 2016 and it was like all the influencers that were like, this is what everybody was equally embarrassed, but it was also really fun and
It
like
was
people
kinda
just,
relatable.
it was
Yeah.
part of the times.
It was.
But
In 2016, I had the twins were 3 and Michael was 5. So I was still totally wacko.
In the thick of it.
I was in the thick of
In
it.
the thick of
I was in the thick of it, and I wasn't getting any good help. Like, at that point, I was just surviving, and I wasn't surviving well. Yeah. I was underwater. Big
So
time.
also this but you had the wherewithal to be like, I need to start something for me.
Yes. Yeah. And so we started making T-shirts, and that went well. That is listen, all the other
Was
preschool
Etsy or
moms
what?
do what? No, we
Word of mouth?
we were word of mouth and online, like social media.
Oh, okay.
And we were just, vinyl
Vinyling
and
it
heat
up.
presses. Listen,
also you starting the business of the heat presses. I was going to say, how many of us have talked about, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to start a business with our friends or whatever. And then same with you with the podcast and don't actually do it. So to actually be like, I'm going to take a step, make something, put it online and sell it is still a big step.
No, it's a big step.
It's wild.
And it obviously
It's wild.
involved. Okay, tell me about the evolution.
So we started making T-shirts, and then somehow a boutique reached out and said, "Hey, can I wholesale this in my boutique?"
I want that to happen to me.
I know
It will.
with being asked to wholesale, like to do a larger order to put in a boutique, like to wholesale it. Kind of introduced us to the boutique world. Because listen, the way I used to dress was not cute. It was not. And
So was it neutral? That's another one of my
neutral.
questions.
It was very neutral. It was very safe, and it was wherever my mom shopped.
What about that made you feel safe? Like, what do you think you were protecting dressing that way?
Oh, myself. Like, just everything that I am. Like,
Like,
that
like people would
like
find out that you were truly this,
like that maybe I was weird or that I was mentally ill or that I
Mhm.
was just trying to be what I thought I was supposed to be.
It was almost like you were blending in, which the you
Blending-
now, it's like you stand out. You're wearing yellow bracelets.
Yeah.
Like you were so like
Yes, that was perfect. That's a perfect way to say it.
putting off
Like,
fun vibes when I see you.
Yes. Okay. Now where were we?
When did the shift to dopamine dressing begin?
So, it'll be 9 years in this March that the business has been open or has been going. So I am now the sole owner
Okay.
of the business.
Mhm.
And I feel like in the last couple of years, just as life had played out, we definitely started getting bolder or like throw in a print here, throw in some
Funkier.
colors here.
Mhm.
And what was so interesting for me as someone that was very like, I love a neutral. I love a monochromatic look. I love, and like I had definitely at that point gotten to where I feel like I had better style. Like I was starting to like discover myself, as cliche as that sounds.
Nope.
Um, and figure out who I was and what I actually liked rather than just what I thought I was supposed to like. And then as we started like buying just some different things here and there, and I would wear it and I would love it. And it was like, wait, I don't love this. What the heck? Like, I'm not supposed to love this. But then I'd be like, but I do. I'd wear things and it would feel like me. And I didn't feel like I had to like pretend when I was wearing those things, and it would be just like one shoe here or one top here or one dress there, and it was like, "Wait, I feel different."
Mhm.
And that was also very much in conjunction with what was happening in therapy for me.
Mhm.
It's such a mirror of what was happening in my mind.
Mhm.
And
Going from, like, the beige to color
uh-huh,
almost, like,
yes,
getting this
yes.
taste of this is what life could be like.
This is what life could be like, and that also, like, I don't have to care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
I want to wear a shirt with cats on it and polka dot pants, I'm gonna do it.
I just think
Like,
it does the
I love
opposite
it.
though of what
Yeah.
you think.
It
It
right?
draws me like I not that I like I've always dressed so crazy, but I've always loved fashion. But
You've
I'll
always
always,
dressed
you know
well.
me, Megan, like I'll put on a dark lip and some people will be like, "Well, I can't pull that off." No, you just put it on
You
and
just
then
put it
people
on.
get used to seeing that that's
Yeah.
what you look like. Like it's just
Yeah.
put it on and then you pull it off.
No,
Like it's
you have
whatever.
always
It's
had great style.
confidence.
It is, but well,
You've always been confident, I feel like, at least from where I was
Fake it till
sitting.
you make it. But yeah.
But from where I was sitting, you were confident. Like, I love that.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I don't think I've ever felt more like me
And
than I do now.
I think Katie, your Instagram too, like you get on EK Boutique Instagram and you like put on these outfits. I
Yeah.
guarantee you it's making somebody else think, "Oh, well, I've got some leopard pants and a
Heck
green
yeah.
top. Let
Put
me
those
just try
on.
that and see it
Yeah.
looks cute on Katie. Like
Yeah.
let me just I think you're probably doing that for other
Yeah.
people. They're
Inspiring
like, "That
people.
just seems fun. Let me try it."
Yeah. My favorite, I love being online. I love that we can reach more people online. But the boutique, like the actual, like our boutique in Richmond, Texas is
Shout out.
my favorite place.
Shout
Yeah, it's my favorite
out.
place. When women come in there and we've had a lot too recently that have said, like, they'll come in and it's after a divorce or it's after a major life change, and they're like, "I need to start stepping out. I need to
Mhm.
feel differently." And getting to watch women go from who they think they need to be
Mhm.
or whatever it was, and then, a year later, they're pattern mixing everything and whatever, and they're so you can just see it on their face. And that's one of the coolest and I'll tell people this all the time, like, when a woman comes out of the dressing room, I can tell if she loves it or not.
Mm,
Mhm.
She doesn't have to say a word.
right.
Mhm.
And I think that that is all that matters. Like, if you come out and just because I want you to, like, I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
If your face doesn't love it, you're not buying it. You're
Right.
not walking out of my store with that.
Mhm.
Because when someone does, and so, like, just seeing that, because seeing that trend, that progression of Katie can pull that off, Carly can pull that off, Megan can pull that off, Julia can pull that off, Hannah can pull that off. Like, no, like, you can pull that
Put
off.
something on that makes you happy.
But then people will be like, "But how did you do that?" I'm like, "The more it's mismatched, the better."
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
honestly,
It's like
just do it.
it's like the idea of not trying so hard.
Yes, like,
Like,
throw it all on, and if you love it, go.
I
Like,
love that.
yeah,
I love
if
that.
it's mismatched, let's go.
Can fashion be a form of nervous system regulation?
For me, it is, yeah. I and, like, there will be days I'll get dressed, and then I'll get to the actual, like, boutique for my day, and I'll be like, "This is not working for me." Like, and it's something I sell, it's something I love, but, like, it's not working for me.
Mhm.
And I'll change into an outfit, I'll be like, "Okay, I'm ready."
Mhm.
Like,
Oh,
I really do think fashion, like, not as a materialistic thing
Mhm.
at all,
Right.
but, like, truly an outward expression of your inward self, expressing your authentic self,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Like, it's not gonna be nervous system regulation if it's not your authentic self. It's
And
just gonna make you more anxious.
anxious, yes,
And
and it
so when it's real, it's like, it's so good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And think about how many times we've been in front of the mirror getting ready for something, and how many clothes are on the closet because we
Yeah.
just didn't feel it.
Didn't feel
Yeah.
it. Didn't
Like,
feel it.
you have
Yeah.
to feel good in it. You
Yeah.
have to feel confident in it, in the way you look, in
Yeah.
the way I
Mhm.
mean, I think fashion, I mean, is such a form of art,
It so
and the
is.
way that you
Yeah.
say it was just so funny for me to hear people like, "I didn't think I was creative." The way you talk is creative. The
Oh,
Really?
way that you view the world is creative. You view
Interesting.
the world through a creative lens. Tell me a little bit about how your girls were speaking at the
My
International
daughters. Okay, my daughters. I
Rosie Foundation
this
Conference.
is where I'm gonna cry. Um, all 3 of my children, I adore them. Michael, like I've said, he's my heart. He was my first kid. I had a really kind of charmed, very privileged life, and then I got married and I had Michael, and, Michael didn't start showing delays until I was, pregnant with my twins.
Okay.
Steven and I literally one day looked at each other, we were early married, and we were like, "Well, nothing's really bad happened to us." Yeah.
The moment you say it.
Literally everything that could go wrong in my life went wrong after that. I mean, I'm talking, listen, everything. Michael completely changed my worldview. He changed my heart. He changed everything because I had a special needs kid
Mhm.
who people didn't like. And life was difficult. It
Mhm.
was really hard. Autism moms are still to this day my favorite people. They are incredible women.
Mhm.
And I'm honored to be a part of that club that I never wanted to be a part of, but I'm honored to be a part of that club because autism moms they are incredible. I can't say that enough. So he changed my life. He shaped my life. When I got pregnant with the twins, I remember being like, "Are you fucking kidding me, Lord? I have
Yeah.
a special needs." Well, at that time, I didn't officially know we didn't have a diagnosis then. Wasn't diagnosed till he was 3, and then he wasn't diagnosed with epilepsy until he was like 4, I think. And then the ADHD and everything else. Um,
Then you're like, boom, twins.
so yeah, I was like, "Excuse me, excuse me,
The nerve.
the nerve to give me twins." Okay. So anyway, these girls, I thought I'm never going to be able to do this.
Mhm.
Then I had them, and of course I loved them because you love them and they're incredible. And those first, I'm not kidding, the first 6 years of the twins' lives, like I don't remember a lot.
Mhm.
It was 3 babies in 2 years,
Mhm.
whether they're neurotypical or neurodivergent is hard.
Mhm.
And I have friends that have the same, like, set and, like, oh my god, that is some hard
Mhm.
shit. And I can finally, like, give myself that, grace that,
Mhm.
like, that was hard.
Mhm.
Right.
And, yeah, you were a mess, but you literally you kept them alive. That's
Yeah,
great.
You did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
And they're pretty, incredible
Mhm.
kids. So Mary and Maggie, God knew Michael was gonna need them. While they are the younger siblings, they are the older siblings, which is, very
Mhm.
common in special needs families. It's called leapfrogging, when your younger age child surpasses your older child,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and it's very hard. It's very, very hard, especially with Michael. Now he's old enough to recognize when his sisters surpass him, and it's very hard
Mhm.
for him and for us. Mary and Maggie are incredible girls, and they went through a lot. They were in therapy very early on because they were, being a special needs sibling is not an easy
Mhm.
deck of cards to be handed, or an easy hand to be dealt, whatever that word is.
Mhm.
Um, and we got them in therapy. We did what they needed, and I am very proud of myself for that. I'm very proud of me and my husband for that we didn't brush over some of the behaviors that we were seeing in
Mhm.
them. And Mary, who is my older twin by 3 minutes,
Mhm.
she, first started presenting with compulsions. She had a glow stick pop in her face. Like, those glow sticks you
Yeah,
get and
yeah.
you pop and they pop. And it popped in her face, and she was beside herself. And after the course of a few days, like, we ended up taking her to the emergency room, like, she could not let go of the idea that she was being poisoned
Mhm.
Well,
by this glow stick that popped in her face and maybe a drop got in her mouth.
Mhm.
So that was the first, and we were just like, "Okay, what's going on here? What's going on here?" And then it progressed very quickly. She would come out of the bathroom with her hands bloody from washing her hands because she couldn't get the glitter off. And I'd be like, "Honey, there's no glitter on your hands."
Right.
"Well, mommy, but yesterday I did a craft with glitter and I can't get the glitter off." And so even in that situation, like contamination OCD,
Mhm.
where it's like you don't get this feeling of completeness
Mhm.
that you've washed your hands
Mhm.
and that the glitter is gone. So there'd be no glitter on her hands, but she would keep washing till they were raw and bloody, like bloody little knuckles. This little baby,
Mhm.
I mean, she was not a baby, but she was a baby.
right.
And I was, and I went, "Oh my God." Like, I remember in that moment when she goes, "I can't get the glitter off, mommy. I got to go wash them again." And I was like, "Oh my God, it's OCD."
Mhm.
And so I called Callie, who my therapist was, and I said, "Callie, this," and she goes, "Katie, it's OCD. Let's get her. Like, come on, we can do it. You know what
Yeah,
to do. We're doing
yeah.
this." So Callie started seeing her right away. Mary started doing ERP, and it was hard. It was so hard. This little girl, she did it, and she got
Put in the
through it.
work.
She put in the work, and then
Amazing.
within 6-ish months, I was not familiar with scrupulosity at the time. Religious OCD is often called scrupulosity.
Never even heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Right? I know. So we love our church, great church. Maggie wouldn't go to church. Maggie, it was like all of a sudden Maggie was like, "I'm not, no, I can't go to church. I can't go to church." Why don't you want to go to church anymore?" "I just don't like it." Okay, a couple weeks would go by. Wait, why don't you want to go to church? Mommy, anytime I hear the word Jesus, I get terrified. Wait, what? Mommy, anytime they say Jesus, I just think about death. And then I just want to, and I would find her under her bed. And it was like, you're hiding from the word Jesus? No. When I hear the word Jesus, I think about death. And if I think about death, I think about the, and da, 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 da. And Harry Potter was a huge trigger for her for a long time. So I was still in therapy with Callie at the time. And I was like, Callie, Maggie's doing this thing. She goes, Katie,
Also,
she has scrupulosity. And like you have OCD, your daughter has OCD, your son has autism, your husband has autism. The girl has OCD, you know?
right.
And I was like, okay, but no. She's like, okay, bring her in. Maggie's very like, she's out there. When Maggie didn't make cheer last year, it just lit a fire under her ass, and she was like, oh, okay, let's go. And Mary is more my, she's more introverted. She's happy to let Maggie speak for her. Not because she doesn't have something on her mind, but she's like, what? But Maggie's out there. Y'all have said so many kind things about me, and I am so grateful for that. I mean, it means the world. As someone who's always doubted herself and doubted like who I was back then and all that, like, so it means the world to me. And then I look at my daughters, and I'm like, they are gonna like freaking
Change the world for
like,
real. Not even just in that cliche
not
way that
even
people
in that
say it,
cliche
like
way.
actually.
No, I look at them and I'm like, okay, girlies, go. Like, go. Like, do everything better than me. Go. Yeah.
So how did when they went to speak?
So, okay, so Mary wrote a paper at school about her OCD. And it was called I hide behind a tree because my worries are following me, was like the first line. And I'm like, wait, what?
Wow.
Excuse me, what? Like, you were able to verbalize your mental illness at, I guess she was probably 10 or 11 at that point. Or
Wow.
yeah. And she was like, well, yeah, that's how I feel. That's my life, Mom. That's my brain. And I was just like, holy shit. And so then a couple of those, weeks or whatever go by, and I get this email that's like, hey, submit a proposal to be a speaker at the convention or conference, whatever it is. And so I asked Callie about it because Callie our therapist was really involved in it, and she said, do it. And so Mary submitted this proposal and didn't get accepted that year. So she didn't get into the 2024 conference. They're planning the 2025 conference, and I get a phone call and it says, hey, your daughter didn't submit a proposal this year, but we all were just sitting around and like, we all remembered it. Like, would she be willing to speak this year? And I was like, let me talk to her. Well, at this point, though, they're twins. So, like, there's, well, not, they've always been twins. Not at this point, they're twins. But they've always been twins. So, now, though, they're both kind of in their, like,
Competitive
we both
era.
have OCD, all of that. So, I emailed them back and I called them and I said, hey, so she has a sister, and she also has OCD, but it's different types. Well, they were putting together a panel of siblings. And it was so it was 3 sets of siblings, and they were like, well, would Mary and Maggie want to be a part of this? And so then they were like interviewed about like if they to like see like because like if they're not ready to speak about it, they're not ready to speak about it.
Right.
So they were interviewed, and so then they were asked to be one of the sets of siblings. So it was what it was 2 sets of siblings where one has OCD and one doesn't.
Okay.
And then Mary and Maggie were like representing this set of siblings where they each have OCD but different types.
Okay.
And so then like what it was like to support each other when you don't have the same types. Because it can very often feel like, wait, you have that type? That's not hard. Mine's hard.
Right.
But no, it's all hard.
Right.
So they were part of that and they were preparing. Well, then through that, I have no idea how this happened, but they were then asked to be these kid correspondents for the whole conference. So which also they both love a fashion moment. So like
It's in their blood.
they were each wearing white suits with heels and like these pastel colored body suits. Like, oh my God, they were so cute. I was dying. And they had the opportunity to interview like doctors and different people that are leaders in the OCD community. And then they also had the chance to interview one is an NFL player. His name is Zane Gonzalez, who has OCD and is a spokesperson for for OCD and like an advocate. And then Allie Raceman, who is she's one of the Fab Four like US Olympics gymnastics teams. Yeah. And so it was really, really cool, especially then to see my daughters in this like legit studio. Like
So proud.
interviewing these athletes that are speaking out about their mental illness. But then also and then seeing them in the panel, talking about their actual lived experience.
Unbelievable.
That was unbelievable.
They're going to change the world.
That's something that saves
kids
people's
changing the
lives.
world.
And and then just the way they love their brother and the way they love people.
One thing I wanted to
Glorious.
touch on when you were saying that you were so amazed that she was able to articulate her experience when you were reading it for the first time, that's because of you.
Thank you.
That's because
It's hard for me to receive that, but I will shut
Yes.
my mouth and receive it. Yeah.
That's because of you, and that's because she watched you be strong. She watched you get help. She watched you every day doing your thing, and that's why she was able to do that. You led by example, and they're who they are because of you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one more segment before we end, and it's called...
The fact that you still have me here is incredible. I'm very grateful.
No, but get ready for our hot seat segment.
Okay.
You have to pick between the two.
Oh, okay.
Only wear neutral colors for the rest of your life, or have to talk in a baby voice for the rest of your life.
Oh, I'll talk in a baby voice, 100%.
Group text, meltdown, or silent spiral.
Ooh, interesting. Silent spiral now.
What was your AIM chat name?
Oh my God. Sparkle8604.
I feel like I remember that. We were definitely chatting. I was Instinct Girl 2 Hotties. So
Hell
we were
yes.
Instinct Girl 2
Sparkle8604. Year I was born and year I was going to graduate back then. Yeah. I mean, I did. I graduated in 04, like that in high school.
What's your favorite musical?
My Fair Lady.
Classic. 3 Under 3 or 3 Teenagers?
Oh my God, 3 teenagers. I did 3 Under 3. It's hell.
School drop-off glam or gremlin?
Oh, I'm a gremlin.
I'm a full gremlin.
I'm doing makeup in the car.
Same.
You're lucky if... listen, I brought clean underwear today to work. That's
amazing.
There's a
That's
story
something I would
behind
do.
that, but let's just call it what it is.
What's the most chaotic thing in your notes app right now?
Oh my God. I do like a brain dump situation where I just
like a
get it all out. Yeah. And it's password protected because no one can see that. So it's just
smart.
I like that.
It's I would probably be hospitalized again if someone read it.
Don't say that.
I know. I'm gonna go delete that.
I almost didn't laugh, but it was so funny. I had to.
No, I 100 listen, the comedy that comes out of the mental hospital is top notch. Top notch.
Okay, this might be one of the most important questions.
Okay.
Backstreet Boys or
Backstreet Boys.
You
yes.
and Carly, how are y'all friends?
I think this is probably...
I remember us even getting into it.
I'm sure we did. I got into it with many people.
Yes.
There's been a lot of fights.
Oh, man.
What do you wear when you need courage?
Oh, something really weird. Yesterday, I needed courage. I wore these striped pants that had, imagine a tutu, but pants.
Amazing.
I know, they were so good.
I can't. Do you think you'd survive a zombie apocalypse?
No, absolutely not. I'd be the first one to die. Let's go eat me.
That's what I say.
Can I just be done?
That's what I say.
Oh my gosh, Carly said she'd I've just been down on my knees and
exactly.
Yeah, I pray to God and let them take me. I'm ready to go.
But also just kill me. Don't just cut my head off.
Easy,
right?
Swift and easy.
No. Yeah, don't.
Then you turn into a zombie.
Yeah, so just be done with it. Yeah, but then at least you're not there
in your mind.
Casual decapitation.
Yeah.
What does still healing, just louder, mean to you?
God, authentic is such a cliche word now, I feel like, but
no, stop saying that.
Still healing but louder is... Ooh, you know what? Okay, Julie and I were talking about this on the way here. I took up 4 quizzes last night. Am I a narcissist? Okay. So,
are you?
No,
okay,
I'm not.
Good.
I'm not. And I've been told by every therapist I've ever had I'm not, because apparently if you have to ask if you're a narcissist, that is the number. That's the number one thing that says you're not a narcissist. But
I know a lot about this.
Okay, so here I am, my brain. I've told you all about OCD, disorder of doubt, and I'm a deep rooted people pleaser. So now here I am in this new era of my life where I'm hey Katie, I'm proud of you, to myself, and hey Katie, I you did that and that was really cool. And then I'm wait, that sound prideful? And I'm oh my God, did I make that about me? Oh my God, did I, and then
not
I'm
a narcissist.
Oh, surely I'm a narcissist. And Julia's Katie, I don't think you're a a narcissist, but what did the quiz say? And I'm like, well, the quiz said no. And then the other 3 I took also said no. So healing out loud.
Still healing, but louder.
Still healing, but louder is being willing to say that. I'm learning to give myself approval instead of needing it from everyone else. But then, that also means I'm questioning if I'm a narcissist because I'm finally being nice to myself for the first time in 40 years.
Because it's going to take practice.
Exactly.
Being
Yes.
nice to yourself and changing your mental talk. What's it called? Self-talk.
Self-talk. Yeah.
It's a practice.
Exactly.
It's hard. And I try to teach my kids that also.
So hard.
Positive self-talk.
Oh
They're
my
like, Mom, I'm not
gosh.
talking about anyone else. I'm like, it's important because you're talking about yourself.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Your words, I know, are going to impact so many people. They've impacted me today. I've come out of this interview a changed person, and I look forward to our friendship. I look forward to coming to the boutique. Everyone, go check out the boutique. We're going to link it. We're going to link their Instagram. The clothes are so cute. Dopamine dressing. Everyone should do it. Dress to feel good. Dress to
Yes.
feel yourself.
Yeah.
And dress to feel your higher self.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, bye.
All right, besties. My glass is empty, but my cup is full, and that means it's the end of the episode. Remember that you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people, and that everyone out there is trying their best. Love you. Bye. You can find the Mommy Artists podcast on YouTube to watch the full video. Give it a like, hit subscribe, and come back next week for more iconic chaos and creative magic. But no worries if not.